This is TCT's Daily Major. I am Brian Dabreo, and these are your headlines. A shipment of breadfruit from St. Lucia was recently discovered packed with cocaine by British Border Force officials. Endless summer extended. Slasper's air traffic controllers received refresher training, and Jamaica to boost the compliance of small tourism properties. TCT's Daily Major is brought to you by Double A's Bottling Company, Farron's Food Products, Ramco Chowming, and One Caribbean Newspaper.
So nothing will keep us together. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
More than a third of our children are now overweight or obese, and some reports indicate this will be the first generation where the children might not outlive their parents. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and the leading cause of death for African Americans, Hispanics, and whites. 25 million North Americans are diabetic, and roughly 2 million people are diagnosed with diabetes every year. Bio's Life, the clinically proven natural fat loss.
For more information or to purchase this product, contact Ramji at telephone 716-1400 or 450-0495 or email ramj35@hotmail.com.
One Caribbean newspaper is dedicated to the unity of our people in one Caribbean nation. We invite you to write us and tell us what's bothering you. No matter what it is, as long as it's within the law and it doesn't offend the public conscience, we will publish it. Send us your pictures. Tell us of your weddings. Tell us when, unfortunately, you have deaths, and we will publish the death announcements. One Caribbean is a newspaper dedicated to the unity of the Caribbean. Write to us at onecaribbeanltd@gmail.com or dennisdabero@gmail.com, and we will publish what you write, as long as it is within the law and it doesn't offend public decency.
Welcome. Caribbean 360 has reported that a shipment of breadfruit from St. Lucia was recently discovered packed with cocaine by British Border Force officials. A freight consignment consisting of 93 boxes of breadfruit and the plantain arrived at Gatwick last Monday. When searched by UK Border Force officers, they found 6.8 kilos of cocaine concealed inside 9 hollowed-out breadfruit in one marked box. Border Force officers play a crucial role in securing our borders against drug smuggling. In this case, their professionalism has meant that dangerous Class A drugs have been seized and will no longer end up in our communities where they can do so much harm, Border Force South Regional Director Sue Young said. We continue to work with our colleagues from the National Crime Agency to do all we can to stamp out this despicable trade and bring those responsible to justice. The St. Lucia Tourist Board and local hoteliers have invited visitors to extend their summer fun with value-added packages of up to 65% off standard rates. Whether it's snorkeling, mountain biking, visiting the world's only drive-in volcano, bathing in the Sulphur Springs, or visiting Splash Island Water Park, there is no shortage of activities on St. Lucia available all year round. Visitors looking for a culinary escape can place their palate at any of the 16 restaurants and hotels participating in St. Lucia's Dine Around program, which offers 3-course meals starting at $55. From all-inclusive resorts to luxurious private villas and family-friendly accommodations, St. Lucia's endless summer deals are the perfect excuse for any traveler to enjoy a few extra days in the sun, said Tracy Warner-Arnold, Deputy Director of Tourism. For more information on Endless Summer in St. Lucia deals, visit www.stlucia.org/endlesssummer. That is www.stlucia.org/endlesssummer. International Air Traffic Controller refresher training is mandatory and to be carried out annually or at a minimum of every other year. In an effort to ensure that international standards are kept, SLASPA formally launched an official ATC refresher course for air traffic controllers from both the George Charles and Huronora International airports. The ATC refresher training is a crucial element in maintaining industry best standards and in ensuring that the air traffic controllers are provided with the most current information to enable them to function at the highest possible level.
Refresher training is intended to ensure that knowledge and skills are maintained and upgraded on a regular basis. It should be objective-based, aim at familiarizing controller with any changes in procedures and practices which may have occurred during the preceding period. SLASPA, as the operator of the airports, is mandated to provide highly technical and specialized training for employees based on the area of specialization. And in our case, that is air traffic control.
SLASPA encouraged the Trinidad and Tobago Civil Aviation Authority to conduct the training in St. Lucia instead of the normal situation where the air traffic controllers would travel to Trinidad for the training. The concern about cost was one factor, but more importantly was the issue of the potential disruption to operations. The result was the unique arrangement where Mr. Carey Price, Chief ATC Refresher Training Instructor, traveled to St. Lucia to conduct the ATC Refresher Training.
Mr. Remy spoke about having the training done here. This was something that at first we did not agree with, for obvious reasons, because we wanted to remain in our own comfort zone. But I think as time passed, we recognized the benefit to the clients. And we recognized, obviously, that you could achieve two things. You could train more people because it would be more economic, but also you have to keep your operations running.
The primary objective of this training program is to ensure that St. Lucia's air traffic controllers are exposed to the latest techniques and information. The goal is to augment their skills and knowledge, thus placing the controllers in a position to maintain the industry's best practice and safety standards.
The purpose of this training program is not for you to simply fulfill a regulatory requirement or to get a certificate or to say that you've done refresher training. The purpose of any type of training is to improve performance. And my responsibility is to provide you with the learning. But your responsibility, once you've gotten that learning, is to put it into practice.
An opening ceremony for a pest prioritization and pest risk analysis training workshop was held this Monday, August 29th at the Union Orchard Garden Conference Room. Head of the Trade Policy Unit of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, Ms. Virginia Paul, delivered the welcoming remarks.
The International Plant Protection Convention defines pest risk analysis as the evaluation of the likelihood of the entry, establishment, or spread of a pest or disease and the associated potential biological and economic consequences. Plant biosecurity develops quarantine policies that protect the plant health from exotic pests and diseases threat identification, and risk analysis are therefore significant components to plant biosecurity. Plant biosecurity policies are based on our national and international obligations under international trade agreements, such as that of the WTO or even the CARIFORUM EU Economic Partnership Agreement. The philosophy behind the International Plant Protection Convention is that the spread and introduction of pests is only preventable if all countries take adequate measures to avoid and control and they should establish appropriate infrastructures to protect from new introductions to prevent these pests from entering their territories. So countries therefore all have an obligation to take the necessary precautions to ensure that the plant and animal health is protected, and that any measures, countries also have the obligation that any measures they take are biologically sound and economically justified.
Agricultural scientists from the United States Department of Agriculture, Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services, Mr. Lionel Wayne Dichi, also addressed the gathering.
In 2008, we at the USDA announced that we would be convening a meeting of the plant quarantine directors or the plant health directors of the Caribbean space. That first meeting took place at the CARICOM Secretariat in 2008. God rest the soul of my good friend, Ms. Margaret Kalu. She was very instrumental in pulling that first meeting together. And we started with 22 countries. In 2016, we have now included almost 34 member countries. It has grown considerably, despite many who believed that it would not survive the 10 years or so that it has now survived. And it has now become a household name. I can't remember hearing about plant health directors even before that time. So in 2016, we have achieved a milestone. Out of that 2008 meeting, many issues came to fore. One of them was the concern that many countries of the region had signed on to the WTO SPS agreement. Many of them not knowing at the time what they had signed on to. And there were many phytosanitary holes, needs that need to be addressed in the region. The USDA office in Trinidad looked at these needs and decided to take on the challenge of filling what you can say basically is a puzzle. And today, with the training of the St. Lucia Ministry of Agriculture technicians, marks the filling of one piece of that puzzle. Let me here thank Mr. Alsey, because again, with the use of the EU SPS funds under the OECS, we were able to work together in realizing this.
The St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association is pleased to announce the availability of Spanish language courses. This is as a result of collaboration between the SLHTA, the Embassy of Mexico, and the University of Quintana Roo in Mexico. The SLHTA will now offer 3 levels of Spanish language training: beginners, intermediate, and advanced courses. The beginners program will develop a communicative and linguistic basis competence that allows him or her to use Spanish as a second language in everyday situations. The intermediate program will deepen his or her grammatical knowledge, text reading and comprehension, writing skills, and at the same time develop more fluency and accuracy in the use of the Spanish language. The advanced program aims to strengthen the ability to communicate with guests in Spanish and to expand his or her knowledge and vocabulary in the work environment, as well as to participate in debates and make oral presentations. The program is an 80-hour program which will be conducted 6 hours a week over 14 weeks. There will be 3 classes held each week, each class being 2 hours long. There is a limited number of 25 spots available. The SLHTA is exploring funding to cover the tuition of these 25 persons. However, there is a registration fee according to the level which participants must pay to the SLHTA. The deadline for registration is the 29th of August 2016. Classes will commence on Monday, 5th September 2016 and will continue every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the SLHTA building at different times according to the program. Know Your Laws is a production of the Press Office of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. The duty of a parent to enforce attendance. The Education Act of St. Lucia 2008. Subject to Section 38, it is the duty of the parent of every child of compulsory school age to cause the child to receive education by regular attendance at a school. Valid excuses from attendance. A student shall be excused from school attendance if A, in the opinion of the minister, the student is receiving satisfactory instruction at home or elsewhere. B, the student is excluded from attendance at school under any provision of this act or the regulations made thereunder. C, the student is unable to attend school because of sickness, danger of infection, infirmity, sudden or serious illness of a parent, or other related cause. D, the student is suffering from a physical or mental disability that, in the opinion of a registered medical practitioner, makes the student incapable of being educated by ordinary methods of instruction. A, the student is granted permission by the principal of the school to be temporarily absent from school for good and sufficient reason. F, the student is a participant in observances, celebrations, or activities recognized by a religious denomination. G, the student has been suspended by school in accordance with this act and has not been given permission to enroll in another school. H, the student is enrolled and in regular attendance at a private school or a home education program in accordance with this act. Or I, the student is engaged in work experience or other educational programs authorized or approved by the principal. 46. Liability of parent. 1. A parent of a child of compulsory school age who neglects or refuses to cause the child to attend school unless the child is excused under Section 38 commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $1,000. Staying with the police, on Wednesday, August 31st, 2016 at 6:30 p.m., the Royal St. Lucia Police Force will be hosting its Meet the Commissioner Town Hall meeting at the Bellevue Human Resource Center in Beaufort. All residents of Bellevue and surrounding areas are invited to attend this popular event where persons will have the opportunity to share their grievances, recommendations, and praises with the executive of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. You are watching TCT's Daily Major. Still to come, 2 of St. Lucia's leading resorts have joined the forces in launching an energy reduction campaign.
Crystal clear, yeah. That's what we drink it. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear, yeah. It's so refreshing. I don't want no other water. The choice is crystal clear. Cool the temperature. Revitalize me with. Give me a bottle of water. All on the road is inside the bottle. Everybody's drinking water. Crystal clear, yeah. It's so refreshing. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear.
The choice is clear. Crystal Clear. Premium, purified drinking water from Zubule's Bottling Company Limited.
The way you smile at me is everything I dream.
How is that boy running up?
Your Lucelec bill has been redesigned to give you more information. The top portion of your bill contains an invoice number, Lucelec's VAT identification number, and customer address. A past due stamp is displayed if your payment is overdue at the time of billing. Ignore it if you've already made your payment. To the right is a barcode for easy processing of your payments at Lucelec's customer service offices only. The billing summary highlights any amounts due from the prior billing, total of all payments made between your last bill and your last payment date, any other charges or credits to your account, any fees for returned checks or reconnection, VAT charges on these fees, the balance brought forward, your current charges for the billing period, the total amount outstanding on your account, and the date by which it should be paid.
Experience the flavor of icy. Icy, yeah. Icy. Pop it up. Let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste.
The orange and the pear, the cherry and banana, the apple, ginger beer, or strawberry for your mama. Grapefruit, cola, champagne, sorrel if you wanna. Quench your thirst first, have a icy soda water.
Icy, yeah. Icy. Pop it up. Let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste. Icy.
Experience the flavor of icy. Bottled by Dublay's Bottling Company Limited.
Ramco pasta is a master. Your staple of choice because the quality is superior. No gluten, no white flour, 100% semolina. Ramco pasta tastes better, I swear. Ramco pasta forever. When I using mac and cheese, bon. Give me some more, please. Ramco have variety, go Betty to Betty and Fusilini. Ramco, the taste we know. Met you. Now available at all leading outlets. Distributed by Ramco. For more information, call 450-0495.
Thanks for staying with us. Bay Gardens Resorts and Windjammer Landing Villa Beach Resort have joined the forces in launching an energy reduction campaign trying to lower operating costs and in turn fighting climate change. This campaign will be focused on getting team members involved in reducing kilowatt hours not just in the workplace but also at home. Therefore, the SLHTA Environment Committee would like to encourage heads of departments to share with their team members how climate change can have a devastating effect on the industry if measures are not taken now. Sea level rise, increased sea surface temperature, beachfront property infrastructure damage, frequent and more intense storms and hurricanes, loss of beaches, loss of coral reefs. Properties are also encouraged to conduct site inspections of their respective properties to ensure that everything is being done to save costs and by extension the environment. The St. Lucia Fire Service this Monday gave TCT an update as it relates to the period commencing Friday the 26th to Monday, August the 29th, 2016. TCT spoke to Station Officer Jermaine William, who is attached to the Fire Service headquarters.
There were a total of 2 fires, 76 ambulance responses, and 3 accidents. In the Northern Division, the Fire Service headquarters responded to 2 fires, one of which was a vehicular fire which occurred at Bexar, in which the vehicle and its contents were completely destroyed. The second fire occurred at La Clary, where a television set caught on fire and subsequently spread to the surrounding furniture. The Fire Service headquarters also responded to 18 ambulance calls and 1 call which was as a result of an accident at sea. The Grosvenor Fire Station responded to 19 ambulance calls, including 1 motor vehicle accident, where 3 persons were transported to Victoria Hospital, nursing minor injuries. Denver Fire Station responded to 14 ambulance calls, all of which were medical emergencies. In the Southern Division, there were 24 ambulance calls. The Viewfort Fire Station responded to 12 of those calls, 1 motor vehicle accident, and 1 physical assault among those calls. The Miku Fire Station responded to 7 ambulance calls. They also had 1 physical assault among those calls. The Sufra Fire Station had 5 ambulance responses with no major incidents. The fire service has seen a reduction in the number of both physical assaults and motor vehicle accidents for this weekend.
3 students who are children of members of staff of the Ministry of Agriculture were recently awarded scholarships by telecommunications giant Digicel.
The Ministry, in collaboration with Digicel, our corporate sponsor, has made this ceremony feasible by providing the awards for our awardees. Thank you, Digicel, for your generous and continued support in making this event a reality and a success. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate the recipients of the awards on their outstanding achievements at this year's exams. I have no doubt that each of you awardees will continue to excel at the secondary school which you will be attending.
Mrs. Kodra is an official with Digicel.
On behalf of Digicel, I would like to congratulate the students on their recent success at the Common Entrance examinations. And as you begin or start this new chapter in your life, remember to remain focused, to work hard so that your successes will continue. All the best.
On the regional front, Jamaica's Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett has launched a special Jamaica $20 million or US $157,735 revolving loan facility to boost the compliance of small tourism properties, attractions and businesses on Jamaica's eco-friendly South Coast. The Initiative for Community Tourism Enterprises in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, forms part of the Ministry of Tourism's National Community Tourism Policy and Strategy aimed at developing community tourism island-wide to diversify the island's tourism product. Minister Bartlett said it would serve as a pilot project for community tourism, adding that he hoped it could be replicated across the island. Minister Bartlett said the scheme would enable the enterprises in Treasure Beach to become compliant and more appealing, which he said is crucial to positioning the area as a unique destination offering a rustic luxury experience which the rich and famous seek when they want to escape from the formal luxurious settings that are characteristic of some of the destinations that we know, where the link with nature is never broken, but the quality of the creature comforts are still at the highest level. Now for the weather report. Present weather at Huronora, cloudy and hazy. At George Charles, partly cloudy. Total rainfall for the month thus far at Huronora, 191.4 millimeters. At George Charles, 143.3 millimeters. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:55 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from the east near 21 miles to 33 kilometers per hour. Weather, partly cloudy and hazy skies with a few showers. Seas, moderate with waves, 4 to 6 feet or 1.2 to 1.8 meters. Forecast for the Lesser Antilles. Fair skies becoming cloudy at times with widely scattered showers. Tropical weather outlook. The lower atmosphere over the Lesser Antilles is sufficiently moist and unstable for the development of a few showers and possibly thunderstorms, especially around the southern islands. Finally, unbelievable, but true. Here it is. You know it's hot when this cat decides to chill in a bucket of water. Have a look.
Anytime you choose, kick off your shoes, rest your weary eyes and catch up with the news. A favorite book will be the perfect company, so relax. Forget
Some people say cat frayed water, but this one definitely proved them wrong. Here is where we come to the end of this edition of TCT's Daily Major, but before we go, another look at the headlines. A shipment of breadfruit from St. Lucia was recently discovered packed with cocaine by British Border Force officials. Endless summer extended. Slasper's air traffic controllers received refresher training, and Jamaica to boost the compliance of small tourism properties. TCT's Daily Major was brought to you by Dubilee's Bottling Company, Ferrens Food Products, Ramco Charming, and One Caribbean Newspaper. As usual, on behalf of the entire news team, I am Brian Dabrio. Thanks for viewing.